Medical alert. This is an update to the millions of people who used fen-phen in the past. NBC's The Today Show recently reported that the diet drug fen-phen may still pose risks to those who took the drug for weight loss years ago. People are still being diagnosed with serious heart and lung conditions due to the effects of this drug. If you took fen-phen in the past and were recently diagnosed with a heart or lung condition, you may still file a claim by calling the law offices of Donald Edgar at 1-800-545-6409. Call 1-800-545-6409 today. OxyContin alert. OxyContin, a medication prescribed to treat moderate to severe pain in patients, now poses significant risks. The problem: OxyContin is a highly addictive prescription drug and has been attributed to unexpected overdoses, seriously injuring patients and sometimes causing death. If you or a loved one has been addicted or injured in connection with OxyContin, or you know someone who has died in connection with OxyContin, call our law firm today at 1-866-OXY-CODE. Call 1-866-OXY-CODE. We'd like to know. When your child has suffered an injury at birth, you owe it to yourself and your child to find out what really happened. Cerebral palsy and other birth injuries may have been prevented with proper medical care. Call the law offices of Marvin Lundy at 1-800-4INJURY to speak to an attorney who can find out what really happened to your child. The law offices of Marvin Lundy. If you have questions, Marvin Lundy has answers. Call 1-800-4INJURY today. Medical alert. PPA, an ingredient found in many of the over-the-counter cold medicines and diet drugs, is believed to be responsible for causing strokes, heart attacks, and death, especially in the overweight and young. Dexatrim, Accutrim, Aquasulfur Plus, Tavasty Cold Medicine, Contact 12-Hour Cold Capsules are just a few of the products that have contained the ingredient PPA. If you or a family member have suffered a stroke, heart attack, or know someone who has died and has taken PPA in the past, call the PPA Litigation Group at 1-800-489-6737. Call 1-800-489-6737 today. Are you physically or mentally disabled and have had your Social Security disability claim denied? It's easy to become frustrated, but don't give up. The Tarver Law Firm can help you get the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. But if you don't get an attorney to help apply or appeal a denial, you may never get paid the benefits you deserve. Call 1-800-805-LEGAL today and let the Tarver Law Firm fight for you. Call 1-800-805-LEGAL right now. Medical alert from the law offices of Handler, Henning, and Rosenberg. Patients taking the prescription drug Serzone may be at risk. Serzone is prescribed to treat depression and has been linked to severe liver problems and even death. If you have liver problems or are receiving a liver transplant and have taken Serzone, call the law offices of Handler, Henning, and Rosenberg immediately. You may have a claim. Call the law offices of Handler, Henning, and Rosenberg at 1-800-422-2224 for a free consultation. If you're hurt in a car wreck, stand up for your rights. Call 1-800-4INJURY. Our attorneys and staff can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 1-800-4INJURY. Help is on the way. 1-800-4INJURY. Attention Vioxx users. On September 30th, 2004, Vioxx was pulled off the market due to increased risk of heart attacks, strokes, and death to patients. If you or a loved one suffered a heart attack, stroke, or died while taking the prescription drug Vioxx, call today and discuss your legal rights. You may be entitled to compensation. Call 1-800-22-VIOXX. That's 1-800-22-VIOXX. Let us fight for you. Call 1-800-22-VIOXX.
Active.
Your home may be your single largest investment. That is why you pay your insurance company to protect it. But what happens if your home or property is damaged by a sinkhole? Sinkholes cause cracking in walls, floors, and pool decks, and can cause severe structural damage. No matter what you have been told, your insurance may cover sinkhole damage. I'm attorney John Bales.
If you have questions, call me at 1-800-CALL-JOHN. That's 1-800-CALL-JOHN.
An urgent message from the Balkan and Icebrook Zyprexa hotline.
If you or a loved one have taken Zyprexa and developed serious complications such as diabetes or hyperglycemia while taking Zyprexa, call 1-800-828-1000. People who took Zyprexa may have suffered serious medical problems, entitling them to a large cash award.
I'm attorney Chuck Balkan. If you've taken this drug, call Balkan and Icebrook today. You may be entitled to a large cash settlement. 1-800-828-1000.
The drug company Bayer removed Baycol from the market in 2001. Baycol may cause rhabdomyolysis, kidney failure, and other serious complications. Were you hospitalized, or did your doctor take you off the potentially dangerous drug Baycol because of muscle-related problems? If so, you may be entitled to compensation. Settlements are being paid right now. Call the lawyers at Rainwater, Holt & Sexton. 1-800-434-4800.
The Food and Drug Administration has linked Baycol to severe muscle pain, kidney failure, and death. The muscle pain is usually concentrated in the lower back and calf muscles. If you or a loved one used Baycol and suffered any of these symptoms, please call us toll-free at 1-800-876-4572. That's 1-800-876-4572. We are also investigating serious injury claims involving Meridia. For more information, call now at 1-800-876-4572.
Did you or a loved one suffer complications during or after aortic stent graft surgery to repair an abdominal aortic aneurysm? You may be entitled to money damages. In this procedure, the stent device is inserted into a vein in the groin. If you or a loved one had this procedure and suffered any of the complications shown on the screen, call James Rollshouse & Associates.
Call 800-619-3346. That's 800-619-3346. Time restrictions apply, so call now.
Mesothelioma is a cancer of the lining of the lung or abdomen usually caused by asbestos. Symptoms of mesothelioma include shortness of breath, frequent coughing, coughing up blood, and general chest pains. The time between exposure to asbestos and the onset of symptoms can be 20 to 40 years. If you or a loved one has contracted mesothelioma, call James Rollshouse & Associates toll-free at 1-800-960-1755. That's 1-800-960-1755.
This is a legal announcement. If you're suffering from mesothelioma, call the nationally acclaimed law offices of Weitz & Luxenberg, who have successfully represented thousands of asbestos victims all over America, winning verdicts in excess of $400 million. Call now to see if you're entitled to compensation for your pain and suffering. It's not too late to protect your family's financial future. Call Weitz & Luxenberg right now for a free and confidential consultation. Call 1-800-717-8844. That's 1-800-717-8844.
If you or a loved one have suffered a high fever requiring hospitalization, eventually leading to a heart attack, stroke, or death within 48 hours of kidney dialysis at a dialysis center, you may be entitled to money damages. The law firm of James Rollshouse & Associates is investigating serious injury claims related to dialysis centers across the country.
To learn more, call 800-597-5418. That's 800-597-5418. Time restrictions may apply, so call now. Call 800-597-5418.
Was your child born with a birth defect? Did you take blood pressure medication during your pregnancy? A major study states that women taking commonly prescribed blood pressure medicines called ACE inhibitors during the first trimester are nearly 3 times more likely to have children born with cardiovascular or neurological defects. If you took blood pressure medication during your pregnancy and your child suffered a severe birth defect, call Ferrer, Perot, and Wansbrough right now, 1-888-LAW-8585.
Attention, patients with Guidant heart defibrillators or pacemakers. The Guidant Corporation has recalled thousands of heart defibrillators and pacemakers due to malfunctions in these medical devices. Many patients may be at risk, resulting in serious injury or even death. If you or a loved one received a Guidant heart defibrillator or pacemaker, call the Fox Law Firm at 1-866-FOX-FIRM for a free consultation. Call 1-866-FOX-FIRM right now.
Women who use the Ortho-Evra birth control patch. If you use the Ortho-Evra birth control patch and had a pulmonary embolism, blood clot, stroke, or heart attack, call 877-DRUG-999 now. If you use the patch and had a pulmonary embolism, blood clot, or stroke, call 877-DRUG-999 now.
An important message from Parker & Wakeman for people who have taken the prescription drug Vioxx. The manufacturer of Vioxx has recently pulled this popular arthritis drug from the market over health concerns. Recent studies show users of Vioxx may suffer heart attacks, strokes, and even sudden cardiac death. If you've taken Vioxx, call Parker & Wakeman now. You may be entitled to compensation. Call Parker & Wakeman today at 1-800-LAW-INFO. That's 1-800-529-4636.
Medical alert from Jacoby and Myers Law Offices. The FDA has received reports of serious ailments, even death caused by the Ortho-Evra birth control patch. If you suffered complications from blood clots, including deep vein thrombosis, pulmonary embolism, stroke, or heart attack, and have used an ortho-Evra birth control patch, you may be entitled to compensation. For more information, call Jacoby and Myers Law Offices today at 1-800-75-LEGAL.
Attention accident victims.
Attorney Jim Adler offers help to victims of auto or truck safety defects, such as seatbelt failure, rollover accidents, SUV rollovers, truck rollovers, or van rollovers.
If you were in any serious accident, even if you were at fault or already received an insurance settlement, call Attorney Jim Adler right now.
If you were in any accident involving severe burns, paralysis, brain damage, amputation, or wrongful death, call Attorney Jim Adler right now at 713-777-4000.
If you are one of the many who suffered from food poisoning because of contaminated peanut butter, you may be entitled to a cash award.
If you were hospitalized or if someone you know died from contaminated peanut butter, call Attorney Jim Adler right now.
If this has happened to you, keep the jar. If you've been hospitalized, you may be entitled to a cash award.
Some Peter Pan and Great Value peanut butter has been recalled. Keep the jar and call Attorney Jim Adler now at 713-777-4000.
If you have diabetes and have taken the drug Avandia, you may be entitled to a cash award.
If you or someone you know has suffered a heart attack, stroke, or even died while taking Avandia, call Attorney Jim Adler right now.
I'm Jim Adler, the tough, smart lawyer. If you or a loved one is taking this drug, call me right now. You may be entitled to a cash award.
If you've taken Avandia and have had a heart attack or stroke, call Attorney Jim Adler right now at 713-777-4000.
This country owes its very existence to the strength and courage of its working men and women. Unfortunately, many worked in areas contaminated by asbestos. If you or a loved one were occupationally exposed to asbestos and have been diagnosed with mesothelioma, a disease uniquely linked to a brief asbestos exposure, call the law offices of Peter Angelos for a no-charge consultation.
If you or a loved one have a Guidant or Medtronic pacemaker or defibrillator, or have suffered injury, heart attack, or cardiac death, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call toll-free 1-800-508-7151 for a free case review. Guidant and Medtronic corporations have recalled thousands of defibrillators and pacemakers due to malfunctions reportedly causing serious injury and death. Learn more about your rights and the recalls. Call now for a free case review. 1-800-508-7151.
Various Guidant and Medtronic heart devices have been recalled for faulty leads and for delivering fatal electric shocks. Call Hissy Kins to determine whether your device may be on the recall list. Zyprexa, Risperdal, and Seroquel have been linked to weight gain, diabetes, and blood sugar irregularities. Hissy Kins handles these claims as well as other defective or recalled drug and serious injury claims. Call Hissy Kins now, toll-free 1-800-915-2101 for a no-charge evaluation of your rights.
An important announcement for people using the antibiotic Ketec and their families. Recent FDA findings have linked the use of the antibiotic Ketec to rare but serious liver injury, liver failure, and death. Call now to learn your legal rights. Call toll-free 800-465-1699. If you or a loved one has suffered a serious liver-related injury or death from the use of Ketec, call now for a free case review. Call toll-free 800-465-1699.
An important announcement for drug-coated stent patients and their families. Recent FDA findings indicate increased risk of blood clot-related injuries, heart attacks, strokes, and death associated with the use of drug-coated stents. If you or a loved one has been injured due to an implanted drug-coated stent, including the Boston Scientific Taxus and Johnson & Johnson Cypher stents, you may be entitled to compensation. Call now to learn your legal rights. Call toll-free 1-866-972-1500 for a free case review.
Fosamax and other osteoporosis drugs have been linked to severe jaw bone decay. If you or a loved one has taken Fosamax and experienced jaw pain, loose teeth, abscess, tooth loss, infection, or exposed bone in the mouth, contact Hissy Kins. Other drugs linked to jaw decay are Actonel, Boniva, Zometa, and Iridia. Contact Hissy Kins toll-free at 1-800-915-2101 for a no-charge evaluation of your rights. The FDA has warned that the antibiotics Ketec and Tequin may cause serious injury. Key-Tech has been linked to liver toxicity, jaundice, liver failure, and possibly death. Tequin has been linked to low blood sugar, high blood sugar, diabetes, and death. If you or a loved one has suffered serious injuries from Key-Tech or Tequin, contact Hissy Kins toll-free at 1-866-275-4454 for a no-charge evaluation of your rights.
An important announcement for food processing plant workers and their families. Recent reports indicate a link between diacetyl, a chemical used in the artificial butter flavoring process, and a potentially fatal lung disease called bronchiolitis obliterans. If you or a loved one has worked around or been exposed to diacetyl and suffered serious respiratory problems, you may be entitled to compensation. Call now to learn your legal rights. Call toll-free 866-970-0900 for a free case review.
If you've had a hernia repair surgery, this message is for you.
If you or someone you know has had a serious bacterial infection or even died shortly after a hernia repair surgery, the Kugel hernia mesh patch may be to blame.
Thousands of Kugel hernia mesh patches have been recalled by the FDA. If you've recently had hernia repair surgery, your health may be at risk. Call attorney Jim Adler now.
If you've had any serious medical problems after your hernia surgery, call attorney Jim Adler now at 713-777-4000.
I'm Terry Crouppen. I'm a lawyer. I fix problems, your problems. When someone you love is injured in a nursing home because of careless nursing care or medical care, it's unacceptable. Because of their age and their health, they often need someone to stand up for them. My law firm, Brown & Crouppen, has collected over $350 million for injured people. Not million, billion. See, I fix problems. Call now for free at 421-HELP.
Fosamax, a drug used to treat osteoporosis, may actually lead to weakening of bones instead. This condition, known as ONJ or dead jaw, can lead to surgery to remove dead bone. Symptoms include jaw pain, loosening of teeth, severe infections, swelling, and exposed bone. If you or a loved one have suffered these side effects or had surgery to remove dead bone after taking Fosamax, call Fleming & Associates toll-free at 1-800-940-3365. That's 1-800-940-3365.
Health alert. Individuals with kidney problems. If you received an MRI with contrast, then develop skin problems including thick and hard skin, stiff joints, or limited mobility, compensation may be available. Call 1-800-LAW-5755 for a claim evaluation.
Have you suffered serious injury after using the recently recalled blood-thinning drug heparin? Our investigation has revealed that many batches of heparin have been contaminated. We have traced the problem to manufacturing facilities in China. If you or a loved one has ingested heparin within the last year and either died or suffered a serious injury, call this number immediately to learn about your legal rights. Call us toll-free 1-877-283-3852 to speak to an attorney. Call now to protect your legal rights.
Medtronic has recalled its Sprint Fidelis defibrillator lead wires after defects in the wires were linked to 5 patient deaths. Fidelis lead wires can fracture and cause multiple shocks or loss of therapy when needed. Has your Medtronic defibrillator had a fractured lead wire, caused multiple shocks, failed to deliver therapy, or been removed or replaced? If so, you may be entitled to money damages. If you or a loved one have or have had a Medtronic defibrillator, call Fleming & Associates for a free consultation at 1-800-940-33.
A Medtronic heart device wire has been recalled for causing unnecessary and fatal electric shocks. If you had any brand of defibrillator or pacemaker device implanted after January 1st, 2004, please contact your physician to determine whether the lead wire may be a recalled Sprint Fidelis model. Call Hissy Kins toll-free at 1-800-915-2101 for a free legal evaluation. Don't let the drug and device companies take away your rights.
Attention, women who have used the oral contraceptive Yasmin or Yaz should be aware that they could be at an increased risk of severe health complications compared to those taking other birth control pills. If you or a loved one suffered a heart attack, stroke, blood clot, deep vein thrombosis, pulmonary embolism, or gallbladder disease while using Yasmin or Yaz, you may be entitled to compensation. Call 1-877-DRUG-GIANT for a free consultation or visit yazlegalhelp.com.
Non-attorney spokesperson.
Attention Yamaha Rhino ATV drivers. There have been widespread reports of severe injuries and deaths due to rollover accidents.
If you or a loved one were severely injured with crushed arms, hands, or legs, had massive surgeries, or died because of an accident on a Yamaha Rhino ATV, call attorney Jim Adler right now.
Don't put this off. Call me immediately. You may be entitled to a cash award.
Call 214-320-1111 or 817-320-1111.
This is a consumer alert.
I'm Terry Krupa, and my law firm fights giant companies. Here's what we're tracking right now. If you're a woman who's had surgery to correct urinary leakage or abdominal pain, please listen. Serious problems have been linked to the mesh implanted during this surgery. If you've had pain, bleeding, infections, bladder or intestinal punctures after surgery, call us. We can help. We're Brown and Crouppen. Call us for free at 1-800-536-HELP.
This is an important message. If you or someone you love has taken the prescription drug Avandia and suffered a heart attack or heart-related illness, the recent studies reveal there may be a link between Avandia and an increased risk of heart attack, cardiovascular disease, even death. Call now if someone you love has suffered a heart attack, other heart-related disease, or died while taking Avandia. You may have a claim to compensation.
This is a dangerous drug alert.
Hello, I'm Terry Kruppen from the law firm of Brown and Crouppen. My law firm fights giant drug companies that make drugs that hurt people. Here's a drug we're tracking right now. The FDA has requested the arthritis drug Bextra be taken off the market and a black box warning be put on the popular drug Celebrex. Both have been linked to heart attacks and strokes. Remember, we're Brown and Crouppen. We fight giant drug companies that make drugs that hurt people. Call Brown and Crouppen for free at 1-800-536-HELP.
Thousands of surgical patients were given the anti-clotting drug Trazolol without their knowledge during heart, orthopedic, and spinal surgeries. Trazolol has been linked to severe side effects including kidney damage, strokes, heart attacks, even death. If you or a loved one had surgery that resulted in renal failure and dialysis, you may have a valuable legal claim. Let the attorneys at Lanham Blackwell help you hold the drug companies accountable and get you the compensation you deserve.
This is a consumer alert.
I'm Terry Krupa, and my law firm fights giant companies. Here's what we're tracking right now. Toner shoes, also known as shape-up or rocker bottom shoes, have been linked to many serious injuries. These round bottom shoes, which are designed to be unstable, have been associated with stress fractures, trips and falls, broken bones, and serious tendon and ligament damage. We can help. We're Brown and Crouppen. Call us for free at 1-800-536-HELP.
Attention Digitech users. Digitech tablets, also known as digoxin tablets, were recently recalled from the market. Digitech has been linked to death in patients. The problem: double-strength tablets were given to patients in error, causing low blood pressure, a slow heartbeat, and cardiac instability. If your loved one took Digitech tablets and died after taking Digitech tablets, call the Allen Law Firm at 1-800-9165-LAW for a free consultation. Call 1-800-916-5-LAW.
Attention! If you or a loved one was diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Mesothelioma is a rare cancer linked to asbestos exposure. Exposure to asbestos in the Navy, shipyards, mills, heating, construction, or the automotive industries may have put you at risk. Please don't wait. Call 1-800-99-LAW-USA for a free legal consultation and financial information packet. Mesothelioma patients call now. 1-800-99-LAW-USA.
Have you suffered a serious injury resulting from the HPV vaccine Gardasil? Gardasil is administered to girls from 9 years of age and older. If you or a loved one received Gardasil injections and suffered severe injuries such as death, paralysis, heart attack, or stroke, you may be entitled to compensation. Call us immediately toll-free at 800-965-1464 to learn more about your legal rights.
This is an important message. Have you or a loved one taken the prescription drug Chantix to stop smoking? Chantix has been associated with major psychiatric side effects in some patients, including suicide, suicidal behavior, and acts of violence. If you or a loved one has taken Chantix to stop smoking and suffered any of these side effects, you may have a claim to compensation.
Have you or a loved one taken the popular psoriasis drug Raptiva and then suffered a serious infection or death? The FDA has recently issued a nationwide public health advisory following the deaths of several patients who used Raptiva. If you or a loved one has taken Raptiva and suffered from severe side effects including life-threatening infection, brain infection, or death, please contact the law firm of Audet & Partners at 1-800-965-1463. The call is free and there is no obligation.
Attention Raptiva users. The FDA says the psoriasis drug may cause brain infections.
This is serious. If you or a loved one took Raptiva and developed a brain infection, PML, or other complications, Raptiva may be to blame. Call the National Law Firm of Parliament and Associates right now.
If Raptiva caused your injury, this announcement is for you and your family. Call now to protect your rights.
Call the National Law Firm of Parliament and Associates now at 800-610-0088.
This is an important health alert from Georgia lawyer John King at 1-877-5-REGLAN. If you or a loved one was prescribed Reglan for heartburn or GI issues and now have problems with arm, leg, or body movements, facial twitches, tremors, and more, Reglan could be the culprit. Reglan has been linked to a serious condition called tardive dyskinesia. To find out if you're entitled to compensation, call Georgia lawyer John King now. 1-877-5-REGLAN.
Warning. Warning. Warning colonoscopy patients. The FDA has issued an alert. After reports of kidney injuries associated with the use of oral sodium phosphates, a OSP product used prior to a colonoscopy. These products are Visicol, Osmoprep, and Fleet Phosphor Soda Easy Prep. If you or someone you love has experienced kidney problems after a colonoscopy, you may be entitled to compensation. Call 1-800-943-6567 for a free consultation. Call 1-800-943-6567 now.
Have you suffered a serious injury resulting from a defective Zimmer-Durham Cup hip implant? If you or a loved one were implanted with a Zimmer-Durham Cup artificial hip between March 2006 and July 2008 and then required a second revision surgery or replacement surgery, you may be entitled to legal compensation. Call us immediately toll-free at 800-965-1464 to learn more about your legal rights. Call now to speak to an attorney.
Attention Accutane users. Accutane has been withdrawn from the market. If you or a loved one has taken the drug Accutane and now suffer from inflammatory bowel disease, also known as IBD, or developed Crohn's disease or colitis, you may be entitled to compensation for the harm caused. If you or a loved one has taken Accutane and now suffer from IBD, inflammatory bowel disease, Crohn's disease, or colitis, call Handler, Henning & Rosenberg at 1-800-LAW-4000 for a free consultation. Call 1-800-LAW-4000.
Paid dramatization testimonials.
My dad died from a rare form of cancer called mesothelioma. Gordon investigated and found out that exposure to asbestos at his job was to blame.
If you or someone you know has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call me right away. Let my Louisiana team of lawyers investigate your case. I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. I'm right here in Baton Rouge.
If you or someone you know has mesothelioma, call attorney Gordon McKernan at 926-1234.
Paid dramatization testimonials.
I was sick and I couldn't do my job. I applied for the Social Security benefits that I had coming to me, but I was denied.
I applied and was denied.
Applied, denied.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. If you've been denied your Social Security benefits, call me right away. Let me help you get approved.
I was denied, but now I'm approved. Applied and denied no more.
I just called and now I'm approved.
If you've been denied your benefits, let me help you get approved. Just call me. Get it done.
Call 926-1234.
Paid dramatization testimonials.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Let me tell you a true story about one of my clients. A gentleman came to me after a truck had rear-ended him. He hurt his neck and suffered serious headaches. Fortunately, the other driver had plenty of insurance. And after his case settled and all his expenses were paid, he took home $238,512.61. Now, I can't guarantee you that kind of settlement in your case, but if you've been hurt, just call me. Get it done.
Get Gordon. Get it done.
Call 926-1234.
Attention Avandia users. If you or a loved one has taken Avandia for type 2 diabetes and suffered a heart attack, heart failure, stroke, liver failure, or vision loss, call Handler, Henning & Rosenberg at 1-800-LAW-4000 for a free consultation.
Avandia. Ever heard of it? It's a drug used to treat diabetes.
The problem is, Avandia may cause a heart attack, stroke, or congestive heart failure. Just imagine, this is happening to people. While safe and effective for many, Avandia may cause these potentially life-threatening heart injuries. If you or someone you know has taken Avandia and experienced any of these conditions, call me now at 1-800-918-4559.
Fosamax is a medication primarily used to promote bone growth in patients suffering from osteoporosis. According to a recent study, Fosamax has been linked to the degenerative bone condition commonly known as dead jaw. Symptoms of dead jaw can include exposed bone, loose teeth, and significant chronic pain. If you or someone you know has taken Fosamax and experienced unexplained jaw deterioration, call our lawyers at 800-579-2913. Mesothelioma is a serious form of cancer resulting from exposure to asbestos. Tens of millions of American workers have been exposed and face the fear of developing mesothelioma. Family members may be exposed by simply breathing asbestos fibers brought home on a worker's clothing. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma or lung cancer, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Call our lawyers toll-free 1-800-529-8585.
Attention, an important medical alert for birth control users, including the products Yasmin, Yaz, and Ocella.
If you or a loved one has experienced any of the following: seizures, fainting, or loss of consciousness, loss of vision, blood clot-related injuries, stroke, kidney, liver, pancreas, or gallbladder failure, heart attack, arrhythmia, or cardiovascular injuries, deep vein thrombosis, or pulmonary embolism, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call now for a free case evaluation. 800-460-0310.
Attention! Millions of painkiller patches containing the highly potent drug fentanyl have been recalled from the market. Symptoms of a fentanyl overdose include respiratory distress, shallow breathing, fatigue, sleepiness, confusion, dizziness, or fainting. If you were hospitalized or someone you know has died after using a painkiller patch, call our lawyers now for a free consultation.
If you or a loved one have suffered serious side effects or died after using the anti-smoking drug Chantix, you may be entitled to money damages. Call toll-free at 1-888-275-6856. Chantix has been linked to physical injury, seizures, depression, suicidal behavior, blackouts, and death. If you or a loved one suffered serious deep depression, were seriously injured as a result of a seizure or blackout, or attempted or committed suicide, call Andrews and Thornton toll-free at 1-888-275-6856. That's 1-888-275-6856.
Attention those who may suffer from using the diabetes drug Byetta. The FDA has warned that pancreatitis-related injuries and deaths continue to rise as a result of Byetta.
This is serious. Byetta may be to blame for kidney failure, pancreatitis, and other complications. Call Parliament and Associates right now for a private consultation.
If the Byetta pen caused you or a loved one serious injury or even death, this announcement is for you and your family. Call in time to protect your rights.
Injured by Byetta? Call Parliament and Associates for free, no obligation advice at 800-391-8000.
At Audette & Partners, we represent people just like you who have been injured or mistreated by large corporations. If you have a consumer, class action, personal injury, employment, insurance, or medical case, call us at 1-888-99-AUDETTE. Right now, we're working to help people who took Depakote while pregnant and had a baby born with a serious birth defect. Depakote may be linked to facial dysmorphism, congenital cardiac defect, limb reduction defect, skeletal anomalies, spina bifida, and cleft palate. Call us at 1-888-99-AUDETTE or visit us online at audetelaw.com.
I'm Jim Adler, the Texas Hammer. I avenge injustice for the injured, the mistreated, and the ignored.
Jim Adler fights for your medical bills. Jim Adler fights for your lost wages. Jim Adler fights to get what's yours.
An 18-wheeler rear-ended my client who needed painful neck surgery. I hammered and put $84,535.17 in his pocket.
Let Jim Adler fight for you.
Call 713-777-4000.
713-777-4000.
Attention those who took the acne drug Accutane. Bloomberg reports the billion-dollar drug maker Roche Pharmaceuticals has been ordered to pay millions to Accutane victims.
This is serious. Accutane may be to blame for significant damage to the colon, bowel, or intestine. These painful injuries, such as Crohn's, may require surgery or lifetime medication.
If you or a loved one took Accutane and developed Crohn's disease, inflammatory bowel disease, colitis, or lupus, call now for a legal consultation.
Call the National Law Firm of Parliament and Associates 1-800-403-8888.
Have you or someone you know suffered from Stevens-Johnson syndrome? It's a serious, sometimes fatal skin reaction that has been linked to many commonly used medications, including Dilantin, children's Motrin, and Chantix. Stevens-Johnson syndrome can result in severe and permanent complications, such as blindness, extensive scarring, and respiratory problems.
If you or someone you know has been hospitalized with Stevens-Johnson syndrome, call 800-555-1212. That's 800-555-1212.
Many women using the contraceptive NuvaRing believe this type of birth control is safer than other methods. However, there have been growing concerns about a potential link between using the ring and dangerous, sometimes fatal blood clots, heart attacks, and even strokes. Our lawyers are investigating these claims and seeking financial recovery for women who have suffered side effects after using NuvaRing. Call 800-579-2913 for a free confidential evaluation. After taking Fen-Phen, did you or someone you love have heart valve surgery? It's been more than a decade since the dangerous diet drug Fen-Phen was recalled. Its effects are still being felt today. A trust was established to pay for future medical costs for Fen-Phen injuries such as heart surgeries. If you registered with the trust, you may be entitled to money. Call our lawyers at 800-589-1956 to find out how we can help you.
Paxil is a drug approved for the treatment of various forms of depression. However, a recent study suggests that women taking Paxil while pregnant, as compared to other antidepressants, may be twice as likely to have children born with birth defects, heart defects, or primary or persistent pulmonary hypertension in newborns. Never discontinue taking any medication without consulting a physician.
If you were taking Paxil while pregnant and your child was born with a birth defect, heart defects, or PPHN, call 800-555-1212 for a free evaluation of your claim.
Attention Reglan users. Reglan, also known as metoclopramide, is a drug used to treat reflux and other stomach conditions. Reglan can be safe and effective for many, but it has also been linked to tardive dyskinesia, a severe neurological disorder. Symptoms can include abnormal movements of the tongue, face, arms, legs, or body, or abnormal muscular contractions. If you or someone you love has taken Reglan for 3 months or longer and suffered any of these symptoms, call our lawyers at 1-800-REAL-LAW. That's 1-800-732-5529.
Attention, St. Joseph's Hospital stent patients. If you or a family member received a warning letter from St. Joseph's Medical Center in Towson, Maryland about medical concerns regarding a stent procedure, you have important legal rights. Call Science & Kirk's dedicated 24-hour hotline at 1-888-STENT-11 or visit youhavealawyer.com. If you received this warning letter, call now to protect your legal rights. Call 1-888-STENT-11 for a free consultation.
Paid dramatization testimonials.
Attention, anyone who has a financial loss due to the Gulf spill.
Is the Gulf oil spill affecting your job, business, or property? If this spill is costing you money, you should be compensated. Call attorney Gordon McKernan right now.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Call me right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation.
If this oil spill is costing you money, get Gordon.
Get Gordon. Get it done.
Call 1-800-673-5520. That's 1-800-673-5520.
Caution! Have you or a loved one taken the prescription drug Reglan to treat stomach problems, acid indigestion, or heartburn? Caution! The use of Reglan may be linked to serious side effects, including tardive dyskinesia, tardive dystonia, involuntary arm movements, facial grimacing, or protrusion of the tongue. If you took the prescription drug Reglan and have been diagnosed with tardive dyskinesia, tardive dystonia, or suffered any of these symptoms, you could have a claim to compensation. Call today. Call 800-774-0572.
Non-lawyer paid spokesperson. Attention cancer patients born before 1965. You may be entitled to compensation no one has told you about. If you have lung cancer, esophageal or laryngeal cancer, stomach or colorectal cancer, money may be available for you. Call Norris Injury Lawyers for a free confidential consultation. 1-800-REAL-LAW. That's 1-800-732-5529.
An important medical alert for denture cream users. Denture creams such as Fixodent and Super Polygrip can contain zinc, a dangerous element that can cause numbness, tingling, pain, or weakness in your arms and legs. If you use denture creams such as Fixodent or Super Polygrip and have any of these symptoms or have been diagnosed with high zinc or low copper, you may be entitled to compensation. Don't wait. Call Chafin Luhana now at 800-611-3345 for a free consultation. Call Chafin Luhana right now.
A local TV station recently uncovered that more than a dozen brain tumors have been diagnosed in Cameron over the past 7 months. Peterson & Associates is investigating the cause of these tumors and would like to speak with anyone affected. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with a brain tumor or have experienced symptoms such as frequent headaches, vomiting, sinus, or hearing problems, please contact Peterson & Associates toll-free at 800-305-7552 or call 816 Law Firm or visit our website at 816lawfirm.com.
Stevens-Johnson syndrome, or SJS, and toxic epidermal necrolysis, or TENS, are severe skin diseases that can cause a painful and blistering skin rash, peeling skin, and blistering sores that can result in death. SJS and TENS can be caused by drugs like Dilantin, Motrin, and Advil. If you or someone you know has been diagnosed with SJS or TENS, you may be entitled to compensation. For a free consultation, contact Peterson & Associates toll-free at 877-DRUG-GIANT or go to druglawfirm.com.
The spokesperson is not a lawyer.
Recently, the FDA warned that long-term use or high doses of Reglan may cause tardive dyskinesia. Symptoms include repetitive movements of the extremities, lip smacking, grimacing, tongue protrusion, rapid eye movements, or impaired movement of the fingers. If you or someone you know has been diagnosed with tardive dyskinesia or suffer from any of these symptoms after taking Reglan, you may be entitled to compensation. For a free consultation, contact Peterson & Associates toll-free at 877-DRUG-GIANT or go to druglawfirm.com.
The spokesperson is not a lawyer. Attention hip implant patients. DePuy Orthopedics issued a global recall of 2 of its ASR hip implants after data revealed a higher failure rate than expected. Symptoms of device failure include hip, thigh, or groin pain or increased pain while walking. Failure of the DePuy ASR implant may require further surgery. If you or someone you know underwent a DePuy hip implant, you may be entitled to compensation. For a free consultation, contact Peterson & Associates toll-free at 877-DRUG-GIANT or go to druglawfirm.com. Attention Avandia users. Recently, the FDA announced it will significantly restrict the use of Avandia in the United States in response to data suggesting an elevated risk of cardiovascular events such as heart attacks and strokes. If you or someone you know took Avandia and suffered a heart attack, congestive heart failure, or other cardiovascular event, you may be entitled to compensation. For a free consultation, contact Peterson & Associates toll-free at 877-DRUG-GIANT or go to avandiaheartdamage.com. Attention Meridia users. Recently, Abbott Labs agreed to withdraw its weight loss drug Meridia from the U.S. market following review of data suggesting an increased risk of heart attack and stroke. An FDA spokesman said the continued availability of Meridia is unjustified due to increased serious health risks posed to users. If you or someone you know took Meridia and suffered a heart attack or stroke, you may be entitled to compensation. For a free consultation, contact Peterson & Associates toll-free at 877-DRUG-GIANT or go to meridialegalhelp.com. Attention! If you or a loved one gave birth to a child with a birth defect, such as a cleft palate, limb deformity, spina bifida, serious heart defect, or pulmonary hypertension, among others, after using an antidepressant or anti-seizure medication while pregnant, you may be entitled to compensation. Medications such as Zoloft, Lexapro, Celexa, Paxil, Depakote, and Topamax have been linked to serious birth defects if taken during pregnancy. For a free consultation, contact Peterson & Associates toll-free at 877-DRUG-GIANT or go to birthdefectlegalhelp.com.
Dramatization, paid testimonials.
Attention diabetics.
If you or a loved one has suffered a heart attack, stroke, or even died while taking the diabetes drug Avandia, call attorney Gordon McKernan right now.
If you or a loved one has taken this drug and were injured, call me right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation.
Get Gordon. Get your lawyer.
If you've taken the diabetes drug Avandia and were injured, call 1-800-546-2350. That's 1-800-546-2350.
Dramatization, pay testimonials. Attention.
Johnson & Johnson has recalled almost 100,000 DePuy hip implants. If you've had a DePuy hip replacement and it's been removed or it's causing you problems, call attorney Gordon McKernan right now.
If this implant has hurt you or a loved one, call me right now. you may be entitled to financial compensation.
If you or a loved one has had a DePuy hip replacement, call 926-1234. That's 926-1234.
Medical studies show that patients who take Plavix are at an increased risk of serious bleeding, including hemorrhagic stroke, TTP blood disorder, gastrointestinal bleeding, bleeding from ears, eyes, and nose, bleeding ulcers, subdural hematoma, and death. The FDA recently issued a new black box warning for Plavix. If you or a loved one suffered serious side effects or died after taking Plavix, you may be entitled to money damages. Call Audette & Partners at 1-888-99-AUDETTE or visit us online at audettelaw.com.
Have you or a loved one taken Meridia Diet Pills? Tell Robert. Meridia Diet Pills, manufactured by Abbott Laboratories, has been linked to an increase in the risk of heart attack and stroke. If you or a loved one have taken Meridia and suffered a heart attack or stroke, you may have a claim against the manufacturer. For a free consultation, call the law offices of Robert J. Fensterscheib, 1-800-LAWMAN-8 right now. That's 1-800-LAWMAN-8. And remember, you can tell Robert anything. Spokesperson, not an attorney.
Attention, Darvon and Darvocet users. The FDA has recently recalled the popular pain medications Darvon and Darvocet from the market. Recent studies show that Darvon and Darvocet can cause serious heart rhythm abnormalities and death to patients. If you or a loved one took Darvon or Darvocet and suffered an irregular heartbeat, heart attack, or died after taking Darvon or Darvocet, call Handler, Henning & Rosenberg at 1-800-422-2224 for a free consultation. Call 1-800-422-2224.
Tardive dyskinesia is a nervous system disorder often caused by high doses or extended use of the heartburn and gastric reflux drug Reglan. Symptoms include repetitive movements, rapid eye blinking, chewing-like movements, grimacing, tongue protrusion, rocking and swaying. Dyskinesia can appear even after patients stop taking medications. If you or a loved one suffers from tardive dyskinesia after taking Reglan for more than 12 weeks, call James Rolshouse & Associates toll-free at 1-800-984-LAW-1. That's 1-800-984-LAW-1.
Attention, Topamax users. If you took Topamax during your pregnancy to control seizures or migraines, and your child was born with a cleft lip, cleft palate, or congenital malformation, Topamax may be the cause. You may be entitled to compensation your child will need for future care and medical expenses. If you took Topamax and your child was born with a cleft lip, cleft palate, or congenital malformation, call 1-800-916-5-LAW. That's 1-800-916-5-LAW.
Attention spine surgery patients. The Medtronic infused bone graft has been linked to serious permanent injuries such as abnormal bone growth, paralysis, chronic pain, sterility, and even cancer. Many patients were given the Medtronic infused bone graft in off-label procedures where its use was not approved by the FDA. If you or someone you know suffered an injury after undergoing spine surgery involving the Medtronic infused bone graft, you may be entitled to compensation. For a free consultation, contact Peterson & Associates toll-free at 877-DRUG-GIANT or go to medtronicinfusedlawfirm.com. This is an important safety announcement for women who use Yaz, Yasmin, or NuvaRing. The FDA recently released its safety report on combined hormonal contraceptives, concluding that certain contraceptives are linked to a significant increased risk of serious blood clots or even death. If you or someone you know suffered a pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, heart attack, or stroke, you may be entitled to compensation. For a free consultation, contact Peterson & Associates toll-free at 877-DRUG-GIANT or go to yazlegalhelp.com.
Attention Actos users. The FDA warns taking the diabetes drug Actos for more than 1 year may increase the risk of bladder cancer. Symptoms include dark urine, frequent or painful urination, and urinary tract infections. Never stop taking medication before asking your doctor. If you or a loved one is a non-smoker who contracted bladder cancer after taking Actos, you may be entitled to money. Call board-certified lawyer and former judge Terry Bryant for a free initial consultation. 1-800-444-5000.
Attention mothers and fathers of children with birth defects.
If you took Zoloft, Prozac, Paxil, or another antidepressant while pregnant and your child was born with a birth defect, call attorney Gordon McKernan right now.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. If this has happened to you or a loved one, call me right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation.
For a free case review, call 1-800-555-1212. That's 1-800-555-1212.
Alert! The diabetes drug Actos has been linked to an increased risk of bladder cancer. These are symptoms of bladder cancer. The active ingredient in Actos is also found in these other drugs. If you've been diagnosed with bladder cancer after taking any of these drugs, you may be entitled to monetary compensation. There are no fees or costs until your case is settled or won. Call Goldberg and Osborne now. 1-800-THE-EAGLE. Alert! The diabetes drug Actos has been linked to an increased risk of bladder cancer. These are symptoms of bladder cancer. The active ingredient in Actos is also found in these other drugs. If you've been diagnosed with bladder cancer after taking any of these drugs, you may be entitled to monetary compensation. There are no fees or costs until your case is settled or won. Call Goldberg and Osborne now. 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
New research links use of fluoroquinolone antibiotics, including Levaquin and Cipro, to an increased risk of retinal detachment. Retinal detachment is a serious medical emergency which could lead to blindness, vision loss, and other serious vision problems. If you were prescribed the antibiotic medications Levaquin or Cipro and suffered retinal detachment, contact Loncar & Associates immediately. Legal deadlines could be rapidly approaching. Call Loncar & Associates at 1-800-285-4878.
This is an alert from the law firm of Brian Loncar & Associates. If you are a woman who has received a transvaginal mesh implant or bladder sling for treatment of pelvic organ prolapse or stress urinary incontinence, you should be aware of the high rate of serious and painful complications associated with these medical devices. Also referred to as vaginal mesh, pelvic mesh, bladder sling, or transvaginal mesh, these devices have unacceptably high failure rates. Call 1-800-285-4878 to discuss your legal rights or complete the Do I Have a Case section. The FDA issued a warning to consumers and doctors in July of 2011 warning of the risks involved with these implanted devices. Some of the most common vaginal mesh complications and complaints include erosion, extrusion, or protrusion, shrinking of the mesh, pelvic pain, painful sexual intercourse, infection, bleeding, organ perforation, urinary problems, recurrent prolapse. The attorneys at Loncar & Associates are reviewing potential claims for litigation on behalf of women who have experienced problems with these devices, and there are no legal fees unless a settlement is obtained. Call our office now for a free consultation concerning your rights. Legal deadlines are rapidly approaching. Contact Loncar & Associates immediately to protect your rights.
Attention! Almost 100,000 DePuy hip implants have been recalled. If you have a DePuy hip replacement, call attorney Ken Nugent now.
The manufacturer of these dangerous hip implants may be calling you in the next few days to offer you money. Do not settle directly with DePuy if you want everything you deserve. They're only offering pennies on the dollar.
You deserve to be treated fairly. Call us right now.
Get every dollar you deserve.
Call 1-800-CALL-KEN. That's 1-800-CALL-KEN.
If you had a claim denied or your health coverage canceled by Assurant Health, Time, or Fortis, call attorney Ken Nugent now.
These companies let some people go without treatment because it got too expensive.
Courts have recently awarded $8 million and $38 million to victims who had their health coverage dropped or denied.
Call me right now. You may be entitled to a large cash award.
If any of these companies denied your claim or canceled your health coverage, call 1-800-CALL-KEN. 1-800-CALL-KEN.
Attention! The FDA warns that the diabetes drug Actos has been linked to bladder cancer.
If you've taken Actos and have been diagnosed with bladder cancer, call attorney Ken Nunn right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation.
I'm attorney Ken Nunn. There are certain deadlines to file a claim, so call me right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation.
If you took Actos and developed bladder cancer, call attorney Ken Nunn right now at 1-800-CALL-KEN. That's 1-800-CALL-KEN.
After my son's accident, the insurance company denied our claim. I called Lee, and he said because of the new law, I had a new chance. And he made sure my son's future was taken care of.
Make the right call.
Call Lee Free.
1-800-LEE-FREE.
Spokesperson for Lorenz and Lorenz.
As soon as you get hurt in a car accident, it starts getting expensive. What if you miss work and a paycheck, your car, medical bills?
Getting hurt is expensive. That's why you need to call me. One of my clients was hit in a head-on collision. He broke his ankle. I got him $45,946.44. That's in his pocket.
Let me tell you, Ted's great. He fights for every dollar you deserve.
I'm Austin accident attorney Ted Lorenz. You've been hurt in a car wreck? Call me. It's just that easy.
I applied for my Social Security benefits, but I got denied.
I applied, but I was denied.
I'm Brent.
And I'm Jay. We're the insiders at the McMahon Law Firm.
If you've been denied Social Security disability benefits, call us right now.
We know how to help you get approved.
I was denied, but now I'm approved.
I was denied, but the McMahon Law Firm got me approved, and now I'm getting my benefits.
We know how to help you get approved.
Calling us is just that easy.
Have you been denied your Social Security benefits? Call 265-1100.
I applied for my disability benefits, but I got denied.
I need someone who knows the system and knows how to get me approved.
If you've been denied your disability benefits, call us right now. We know the system and we know what it takes to get approved.
I called Harrison Graves. Now I'm approved and I'm getting my disability checks.
I'm approved and my checks are coming in.
If you've been denied your disability benefits, call us. It's just that easy.
Call 1-800-273-HELP.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call and get the Ken Nugent Fast Track Guarantee.
I'm attorney Ken Nugent. I promise that you're going to get help fast. That's my Fast Track Guarantee.
I called at 9 a.m. and by noon they were working on my case. Now that's fast.
I promise that we'll work hard and we'll work fast. Call me and get on the Fast Track.
They work hard, they work fast, and they got me a great settlement.
One call, that's all.
Get on the Fast Track.
Fast Track Guarantee.
If someone you love is in a nursing home, be suspicious. And if you see any signs of abuse, have it investigated immediately.
If you're concerned about abuse or neglect at a nursing home, don't wait. Call Campbell & Associates immediately. Let them investigate your case.
You deserve to know the truth about what happened. The initial call and advice are free.
If you suspect nursing home abuse, call Campbell & Associates immediately at 1-800-764-9191, 1-800-764-9191 now.
If you took Depakote during pregnancy and your baby was born with a major birth defect such as spina bifida, craniofacial defects, cognitive impairment, hypospadias, or fetal valproate syndrome, you may be entitled to financial compensation. The FDA has issued numerous warnings about the complications and side effects associated with taking Depakote during pregnancy. Call Friesen-Goss immediately for a free consultation. Friesen-Goss is dedicated to helping you and your loved one through this difficult time. Call Friesen-Goss now or go to baddrugclaim.com.
Were you taking Paxil during your pregnancy? If you were prescribed Paxil during your pregnancy and your child was born with a heart defect or pulmonary hypertension, you may have a claim. The FDA has strengthened its warning on Paxil based on a study that found increased risk of fetuses developing heart defects. If you took Paxil before 2008 while you were pregnant and your child suffered from a heart defect or pulmonary hypertension, call 1-800-BAD-DRUG for a free consultation. Call 1-800-BAD-DRUG now.
Non-lawyer paid spokesperson. Attention hip replacement patients. Stryker Orthopedics has issued a recall for 2 of its hip replacement systems. The recalled hip products can cause serious health problems and may require additional surgeries. If you've suffered complications with your hip implant, or if your implant required corrective surgery, you may be entitled to a cash award. Call Norris Injury Lawyers for a free claim analysis. 1-800-REAL-LAW. That's 1-800-732-5529.
A blood thinner Pradaxa may cause serious internal bleeding and heart attacks. The FDA is evaluating reports of serious bleeding events in patients taking Pradaxa. The manufacturer has linked hundreds of deaths to Pradaxa since 2010. If you or a loved one took Pradaxa and suffered from gastrointestinal bleeding, cerebral hemorrhaging, a heart attack, or death, you may be eligible to receive compensation. Call 1-800-BAD-DRUG to discuss your rights with an attorney. Call now for a free consultation. 1-800-BAD-DRUG.
An important alert from Colin Gilbert, Wright & Carter. If you or a loved one received a steroid shot for back, neck, and shoulder pain between July and September 2012, you may have been exposed to a potentially fatal form of fungal meningitis. Call your doctor immediately to see if you could be at risk. Then call Colin Gilbert, Wright & Carter. You may be entitled to compensation for the harm you have been caused. Call Colin Gilbert, Wright & Carter for a free consultation or visit thefloridafirm.com. Non-attorney spokesperson.
Attention users of the drugs Byetta, Januvia, and Victoza.
If you took one of these drugs for diabetes or to lose weight and then developed pancreatic cancer or thyroid cancer, call attorney Ken Nugent right now.
I'm attorney Ken Nugent. If this has happened to you or a loved one, call us right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation.
If you took Byetta, Januvia, or Victoza and then developed pancreatic cancer or thyroid cancer, call 1-800-CALL-KEN. 1-800-CALL-KEN.
Attention.
The recent chemical plant explosion is a tragedy that could have been prevented. If you or a loved one were injured in this devastating explosion, call attorney Gordon McKernan right now.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Our hearts go out to the victims of this tragedy. If you know someone who's been involved in this accident, they may need legal representation. Have them call me right away.
If you or a loved one were injured in the plant explosion, call 888-8888. That's 888-8888.
If you're seriously injured in an auto accident, the results can be devastating. Doctors will treat your injuries, but you need Science and Kirk to protect your rights.
I'm Ryan Science. If you've suffered significant injuries in a car accident, there's a lot at stake. Call us at Science and Kirk. We have 40 years of experience and we can make things easier for you during this tough time.
Science and Kirk can help you when you need it the most.
Call 1-800-LAWYERS or visit youhavealawyer.com. If you have a phone or a computer, you have a lawyer. Call 1-800-LAWYERS.
Attention women who have taken birth control. The commonly prescribed birth control pills Yaz, Yasmin, and Ocella have been linked to serious injuries.
If you or a loved one have taken Yaz, Yasmin, or Ocella and suffered deep vein thrombosis, pulmonary embolism, blood clots, stroke, heart attack, or your loved one even died,
call the Rely On Group at 800-583-6064. That's 800-583-6064.
Attention women.
Certain transvaginal mesh implants have just been recalled. The implants have been linked to serious injuries in women and may need to be removed. If you have a transvaginal mesh implant, call attorney Robert White right now.
I'm attorney Robert White. There are time limits to file a claim, so call me right now.
If you have a transvaginal mesh implant, call now for a free confidential review. Call 580-5421. That's 580-5421.
If you or a loved one has suffered from a femur or thigh fracture, Fosamax, a commonly prescribed osteoporosis medication, could be to blame. Fosamax is used in the treatment of osteoporosis in postmenopausal women. Femur fractures do not usually occur without trauma. If you suffered a femur or thigh fracture and were on Fosamax, call 1-800-BAD-DRUG. You may be entitled to compensation. It is urgent for you to act immediately to protect your legal rights. If you took Fosamax and suffered from a femur or thigh fracture side effects, call 1-800-BAD-DRUG now.
Attention, this is a legal alert for former patients of Dr. Nikita Levy at Johns Hopkins Hospital's East Baltimore Medical Center.
Johns Hopkins Hospital and law enforcement are investigating the unauthorized photographing and videotaping of certain patients who were treated by Dr. Nikita Levy since 1988. If you were treated by Dr. Nikita Levy, your privacy may have been violated. Call Science and Kirk right now at 1-800-522-0102. That's 1-800-522-0102.
If you took Yaz and were injured, time is running out to file your claim.
If you or a loved one took Yaz and suffered a pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, blood clot, or stroke, call the Meyer Law Firm now.
If you've been waiting for a reason to call now before it's too late. If you took Yaz and were injured, your financial compensation may be substantial.
Call 1-800-513-0000. That's 1-800-513-0000.
Attention women who have suffered from transvaginal mesh patch surgeries.
The FDA has warned against the side effects and complications from the medical device transvaginal surgical mesh.
This is serious. Known as a pelvic mesh or sling, these devices may not meet reasonable safety standards and may be to blame for recurring injuries and painful surgeries. Call Rovin Kaplan LLP right now for a private consultation.
If the transvaginal surgical mesh caused you or a loved one serious injury, this announcement is for you and your family. Call now to protect your rights.
Call Rovin Kaplan LLP now at 800-989-0804.
If you get hurt in a car wreck and the insurance company offers you a tiny check, say no. Absolutely not.
Don't take a pocket full of dirt and a handshake from the insurance company. Let me fight for all the money you got coming. Call me right now.
Say no to the insurance company's tiny check. Let attorney Ken Nunn fight to get you more. Call Ken Nunn right now.
Call me. It's just that easy.
Call Ken, injury lawyer, at 1-800-CALL-KEN. That's 1-800-CALL-KEN.
After my daughter's accident, the insurance company cut off her benefits. My sister said, protect your daughter. Call Lee. Best advice. Lee got my daughter $425,000.
Protect your child. Call 1-800-LEE-FREE.
The NuvaRing is a prescription-only contraceptive vaginal ring that contains a combination of desogestrel and estrogen hormones. The NuvaRing birth control device has been linked to serious medical problems, including deep vein thrombosis, pulmonary embolism, heart attack, stroke, and death. If you or a loved one were injured while using NuvaRing birth control, call Loncar & Associates immediately. You may be entitled to compensation for your injuries. NuvaRing litigation has been ongoing since 2008, and legal deadlines are rapidly approaching. Call Brian Loncar immediately at 1-800-285-4878.
Attention! This is a medical alert for mothers who have taken the drug Depakote for treatment of migraines, epilepsy, or bipolar disorder during pregnancy. Recent studies have shown a link between Depakote and birth injuries such as spinal bifida, malformation of face, or brain defects. If you or someone you know has taken Depakote while pregnant, you may be entitled to significant compensation for your child's injuries and medical expenses. Your case review is free, so call us today at the toll-free number. Don't wait. Call now.
Attention! This is a medical alert for women who have used the NuvaRing birth control device. Recent studies have raised concerns about severe side effects, including blood clots forming in veins, pulmonary embolism, blood clots in the lungs, deep vein thrombosis, blood clots in veins in the legs, or even strokes. If you have been injured by NuvaRing, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Call today for a free case review. Call now.
Attention! This is an important health alert for women using the popular contraceptive intrauterine device IUD Mirena. Mirena has recently been linked to a number of serious side effects, including perforation of or embedment in the uterus or womb, requiring painful corrective surgery to remove the Mirena IUD. And women who become pregnant while using Mirena may experience an ectopic or intrauterine pregnancy or suffer a miscarriage. Other side effects and complications include device migration, embedment in the uterine lining, abscesses, erosion of adjacent areas such as the vagina, peritonitis, intestinal perforations or obstruction, pelvic inflammatory disease, amenorrhea, vaginitis, streptococcal sepsis. If you or someone you know have experienced any of these problems with the Mirena IUD, call the number on your screen now for a free case evaluation. You may be entitled to significant compensation for your injuries. Time may be limited to file a claim, so don't wait. Call now.
Attention former NCAA athletes. Did you receive medical treatment for a concussion sustained while playing an NCAA sport? Call 800-305-9800 right now. Concussions are traumatic brain injuries that may lead to long-term mental and physical problems. If you have health problems as a result of a concussion sustained while playing an NCAA sport, you may be entitled to compensation. Call 800-305-9800 today for a free and confidential consultation.
Attention surgical patients. Many hospitals are now using a surgical robot to perform hysterectomies, prostate surgery, and other surgeries. The problem: robotic surgery has caused some patients to suffer serious injuries and can even result in death. If you had a hysterectomy, prostate surgery, or other surgery with a surgical robot and suffered serious injuries, medical complications, or your loved one died, you may be entitled to money damages. Call Handler, Henning & Rosenberg at 1-800-444-9651. Call 1-800-444-9651.
Attention hip replacement patients.
The New York Times reports Johnson & Johnson has agreed to pay victims of their metal-on-metal hip implants an average of $350,000 each. If you have a metal-on-metal hip replacement, call attorney Ken Nugent right now.
There are time deadlines to file a claim, so call us right now.
If you have a metal-on-metal hip implant and you're interested in a potential $350,000 settlement, call 1-800-CALL-KEN. That's 1-800-CALL-KEN.
Attention Actos users.
A jury has ordered the makers of Actos to pay $9 billion because they hid the fact that it causes bladder cancer. If you or a loved one took Actos and now have bladder cancer, call attorney Ken Nugent right now.
I'm attorney Ken Nugent. Do something about it. Call us right now. Your compensation may be substantial.
If you or a loved one took Actos and now have bladder cancer, call 1-800-CALL-KEN. That's 1-800-CALL-KEN.
Attention, parents of boys who took Risperdal.
Risperdal has been linked to gynecomastia, a medical condition in which boys develop female breasts. If your son took Risperdal and suffers from gynecomastia, call Meyer Blair now.
Listen, your son's gynecomastia may have been preventable. Do something about it. Call me right now. Your family's financial compensation may be substantial.
Call 1-800-483-5858. That's 1-800-483-5858.
Attention men, have you taken Androgel or another testosterone therapy product and suffered a heart attack, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, or any other cardiac event? Scientific studies indicate that the use of testosterone therapy or low T products may double a man's risk of heart attack. If you or a loved one took Androgel or another low T product and suffered a heart attack, stroke, or any other cardiac event, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Call Schmidt National Law Group now for a free confidential consultation. Attention! Legal alert for users of the diabetes drug Actos. If you've taken Actos and now have bladder cancer, or if a loved one has died from bladder cancer after taking Actos, call Schmidt National Law Group. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation, and our experienced attorneys can help you. There may be time constraints, so don't wait. Call today. Again, if you or a loved one took Actos and then developed bladder cancer, call us toll-free today.
No one plans to be in an accident, but when it happens, it can disrupt your life. You may experience stress from missing work, have to go without a car, and even deal with insurance companies on your own. When this happens, you deserve to speak with an attorney who will answer your questions. When you call my firm, you'll speak with me and you'll meet with me. I will personally respond to your emails and phone calls. And if your case goes to trial, I'll be by your side. I'm Rob Forst. I want to be your lawyer.
Attention, the blood-thinning drug Xarelto has been linked to internal bleeding and strokes.
If you took Xarelto and then suffered from internal bleeding or a stroke, call attorney Ken Nugent right now.
I'm attorney Ken Nugent. If you or a loved one has taken this drug and were injured, call us right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation.
If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered internal bleeding, a stroke, or even died, call 1-800-CALL-KEN. That's 1-800-CALL-KEN.
Have you been implanted with a Zimmer Persona knee? A Zimmer Persona metal tibial plate is a component used in a Zimmer Persona total knee replacement. On March 12, 2015, the FDA disclosed that Zimmer had issued an urgent recall notice for the Persona trabecular metal tibial plate due to an increase in complaints and possible loosening of the component. If you have experienced complications as a result of your Zimmer Persona knee, please call the Beverly Hills Litigation Group at 310-499-1477 to speak with an attorney about your rights. We are attorneys with experience in medical device and pharmaceutical litigation, and we handle every case as if it's going to trial. Please call the Beverly Hills Litigation Group at 310-499-1477. Let us help fight for you. Have you been implanted with an IVC filter? An intravena cava filter is a medical device used to prevent life-threatening medical complications, including pulmonary embolisms. However, IVC filters themselves have been associated with serious medical complications and death. According to multiple warning letters issued by the FDA, IVC filters have been associated with device migration, perforation of the vena cava wall, deep vein thrombosis, and filter fracture. Please call the Beverly Hills Litigation Group at 310-499-1477 to speak with an attorney about your rights. We are attorneys with experience in medical device and pharmaceutical litigation. We are attorneys who understand the science, and you may be entitled to compensation for your injuries. We handle every case as if it's going to trial. Please call the Beverly Hills Litigation Group at 310-499-1477 for a free legal consultation. Let us help fight for you.
This is a legal alert for the users of Xarelto. If you or a loved one have suffered severe bleeding problems after the use of the blood thinner Xarelto, call 1-800-583-4444 or visit youhavealawyer.com. Potential claims are being reviewed for the users of Xarelto who have suffered severe bleeding or hemorrhaging, stroke, or even death. Call 1-800-583-4444 to find out if you may have a case. Call 1-800-583-4444 for a free legal consultation. That's 1-800-583-4444 or online at youhavealawyer.com. This is a legal alert for the users of Benicar. If you or a loved one have suffered chronic diarrhea or other gastrointestinal problems after using Benicar, call 1-800-583-4444 or visit youhavealawyer.com. Legal claims are being reviewed for the users of the blood pressure medication Benicar who have required medical treatment for severe diarrhea, sudden weight loss, or other symptoms of a medical condition known as sprue-like enteropathy. Call 1-800-583-4444 for a free legal consultation. That's 1-800-583-4444 or online at youhavealawyer.com. This is a legal alert regarding carbon monoxide poisoning. If you or a loved one were hospitalized after exposure to carbon monoxide, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Call 1-800-583-4444 to learn more and find out if you have a case. Or visit www.youhavealawyer.com. Carbon monoxide is an odorless and tasteless gas that can have devastating consequences. Even short-term exposure to carbon monoxide may result in brain damage, permanent disability, or even death. Thousands of people are injured by carbon monoxide poisoning every year. In many cases, exposure could have been prevented. Legal claims are being reviewed for carbon monoxide injuries that may have been caused by the negligence of landlords, hotels or other property owners, construction or repair companies, appliance or vehicle manufacturers, as well as other individuals or entities. If you or a loved one were hospitalized following exposure to carbon monoxide, protect your family and call now. Call 1-800-583-4444. That's 1-800-583-4444. Or visit youhavealawyer.com.
If you had an IVC filter implanted to prevent blood clots, please listen closely. The FDA reports that IVC filters can break, causing heart damage, lung damage, and internal bleeding. If you had an IVC filter implanted and the IVC filter broke, moved, or fractured, causing heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, death, or if it can no longer be removed, you may be entitled to substantial money damages. Call attorney Brian Longcar at 1-800-285-4878. Call 1-800-285-4878.
Have you or your child experienced complications as a result of taking the medication Zofran? Zofran is only approved for the prevention of nausea and vomiting as a result of either surgery or chemotherapy and cancer treatment. However, Zofran is not FDA approved for preventing nausea or vomiting in pregnant women. The use of Zofran for nausea and vomiting in pregnancy has increased from 50,000 monthly prescriptions in 2008 to 110,000 at the end of 2013, despite an August 2013 Danish study which detected a 30% increased risk of major congenital malformations for children whose mothers took Zofran in the first trimester, and a 2011 FDA safety announcement involving potential cardiac complications for pregnant women who have taken Zofran. If you or your child have experienced complications as a result of your use of Zofran, please call the Beverly Hills Litigation Group at 310-499-1477 to speak with an attorney about your rights. We are attorneys with experience in medical device and pharmaceutical litigation. Let us help fight for you.
Attention!
If you had hip, knee, or other joint surgery and were then hospitalized for an infection, call attorney Ken Nunn right now. The air-heated blanket or gown used during your surgery may be to blame.
I'm attorney Ken Nunn. If this has happened to you or a loved one, call me right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation.
If you had hip, knee, or other joint surgery and then had an infection, call 1-800-CALL-KEN. That's 1-800-CALL-KEN.
Attention women!
If you took Zofran while you were pregnant and your child was born with a birth defect, cleft lip or palate, or any heart problems, call right now.
Call attorney Robert White right now. Both you and your child may be entitled to substantial compensation.
If you took Zofran while pregnant and your child was born with a birth defect, cleft lip or palate, or any heart problems, call 1-800-555-1212. That's 1-800-555-1212.
Attention retired NFL players. The NFL concussion settlement could result in a wide range of payouts to former players. The NFL may have advised that you don't need a lawyer, but hiring one could help maximize your payout. An incomplete examination by a doctor may significantly lower your payout, while submitting incorrect paperwork could lead to a complete denial. The Kairos Law Group believes you should have the opportunity to speak to a lawyer for free before filing a claim. We have been fighting for retired NFL players since 2012, seeking health care and compensation for their injuries. We now represent hundreds of former NFL players with varying degrees of head injuries, from mood swings, depression and memory loss, to Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, ALS, and CTE. If you or a loved one is suffering from any of these issues, call now for a free, no-obligation review of your claim. Let us maximize your payout from the NFL. Call 1-800-480-3940.
This is important news for anyone who took the medications Nexium or Prilosec to treat heartburn and acid reflux and then suffered from kidney failure. Use of these medications have been linked to kidney failure, chronic kidney disease, and acute interstitial nephritis. These conditions can lead to the need for dialysis or even a kidney transplant. If you or a loved one took Nexium or Prilosec and were then diagnosed with kidney failure, chronic kidney disease, or acute interstitial nephritis, you may have a right to a cash award and medical expenses. If you or a loved one suffered kidney damage after taking Prilosec or Nexium, call the law offices of Davis & Crump at the number below right now to find out if you are eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Call the law offices of Davis & Crump right now. Our first consultation is free, and we don't get paid unless you get paid. Call now. Operators are standing by.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-600-4243 or go to Mesobook.com.
Medical alert. Have you or a loved one been prescribed the blood thinner Xarelto? If so, you may be entitled to a cash award. Xarelto has been linked to serious injuries, including internal bleeding, gastrointestinal bleeding, bleeding of the brain, cerebral hemorrhage, and even death. Call now for a consultation with an experienced attorney free of charge. Call 1-888-817-3360. Again, that's 1-888-817-3360 or visit Xarelto911.com.
Attention, if you've had a hernia mesh, you may be at serious risk.
If your hernia mesh is causing you problems or you've had surgery to repair or remove the device, call attorney Ken Nugent right now.
I'm attorney Ken Nugent. If this device has injured you or a loved one, call me right now. Your financial compensation may be substantial.
If your hernia mesh device has injured you in any way, don't wait. Call 1-800-CALL-KEN. That's 1-800-CALL-KEN.
This is a paid advertisement for legal services.
Listen, the FDA warns that Zantac contains a cancer-causing agent. If you were diagnosed with cancer after taking Zantac for at least a year, you may be entitled to significant compensation. You deserve justice. You deserve Terry Bryant. Call 713-973-8888. 713-973-8888.
Do not stop taking a prescribed medication without first consulting a physician.
Attention, were you exposed to the toxic water at Camp Lejeune?
Congress has just passed the Camp Lejeune Justice Act, which makes billions of dollars available to victims of the toxic water supply. If you or your family were exposed, you may be entitled to a share of that money.
If you lived or worked at Camp Lejeune, even if you're not military and have suffered any of these serious health problems,
call 1-800-724-9900. That's 1-800-724-9900.
I served my country as a U.S. Marine at Camp Lejeune in the 70s. A few years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. Then I find out the water we used every day at Camp Lejeune might have caused the cancer.
If you were exposed to the toxic water at Camp Lejeune and have since suffered any of these serious health problems, call White Hart Legal right now. You and your family may be entitled to substantial compensation.
Call 1-800-686-1500. That's 1-800-686-1500.
Attention! Did you serve, live, or work at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune, North Carolina between 1953 and 1987?
Contaminated water at the base during that time has been linked to these serious health problems. If you were exposed and hurt, the Camp Lejeune Justice Act of 2022 may make it possible for you to recover a settlement.
I'm attorney Ken Nugent. Call me right now. Your financial compensation may be substantial.
Call 1-800-CALL-KEN. That's 1-800-CALL-KEN.